interwebs. Hey, welcome back. Moral Gamer here, and I'm taking a look at Woolfe the Red Hood Diaries. Yep, Woolfe Red Hood Diaries. I encountered this one on Steam. I haven't found it on anywhere else as of yet when I'm doing this review. So, is Woolfe Red Hood Diaries good for you? Is it one that's not worth your money? Well, let's take a look. A little background for me, though. I actually have this affinity towards the Little Red Riding Hood mythology, fairy tale, whatever you want to call it. So it's interesting because if you look at it from its base, it is a little girl goes to see grandma. Grandma gets eaten by a wolf. Wolf waits in disguise as grandma. Little girl arrives, and then little girl is either eaten. Later renditions have a hunter or something that saves her, or there's all sorts of different ways it turns out. Some of the more interesting ones include Red as being the wolf, which is like, whoa, that's the twist you don't see in many fairy tales there. But nevertheless, though, that's not what this is. This is not a fairy tale. This is not fair at all. Yeah, the game is, Woolfe is a businessman, and he actually has a lot of his dealings that he's done, and some of them have basically destroyed the town that Red is living in, and possibly killed her father. Yeah. So Red is out to seek revenge against Woolfe, but that's not really what draws me in. What draws me in is the storytelling. I don't know who this chica is. Her name escapes me right now, but the narrator of there, I swear she's got to be someone who reads audiobooks or something like that. But the way she tells a story actually draws you in. Now, the downside of this, though, is that all of the characters are mute, so everything is told via monologue. It's monologue from Red, voice actress for Red, basically sitting there and just like flushing out whatever's going on. Okay, I understand the style of it. It's an interesting style, don't get me wrong. But the problem I have with it, though, is that I would have liked to see more interaction between characters. I know this is supposed to be the first in the series, but great storytelling, just I would have liked to see more character interaction. Red herself does go through some growth, and they kind of leave you at a cliffhanger at the end of it. And so I'm not going to spoil the game for you in case you decide to play it. But I will offer up some criticisms here, because the biggest critiques I have on this game are these two things. One, the game's way too short. I completed this game in 3 hours. 3 hours. And that's me having died a couple times here and there. But 3 hours to complete a game, and then charging people $10 for it? No, guys, I can't say that's fair. When I got it, it was on a Humble Bundle sale, really dirt cheap, one of those things. But I can't say that's a fair surmise to pay $10 for a game that's only going to give you about 3 hours. No. And even then, there's some wolf icons that you can go through and collect again, but those themselves are not really compulsory. They're not compelling enough for you to go back. So why would you want to go back and play a game that there's really no branching paths, no anything that says to you, I have to go play this game again? No, it's definitely a one-shot. It's definitely a one-shot. But the storytelling, like I said, that it's very epic. The other thing I'll cite this game on is that it's very generic. It's not that the controls are bad. It's not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just that the game feels like they took the tried and true platformer and basic 3D combat. They stuck that in the game and then called it a wrap. Now, this isn't a bad thing. It's more of a neutral thing, but from a game that has a really good style. I mean, the artistic direction is really good here. It's got really good substance the way they put things together, but for having its own style, it reminds me a lot of Alice the Madness Continues. Beautiful, very stylistic, very, very cliche gameplay. And so for that reason, it wouldn't stick out much. In fact, Alice the Madness Continues didn't even tell the story nearly as well as this one did. So this is definitely a title that leaves you wanting more. I would strongly recommend this one, despite its brevity. It's brief, it's short, but I would say this one is still worth it. this one is still worth it. If you can find it on a Humble sale, or if you can find it on a Steam sale, definitely pick it up. I wouldn't pay the full $10 for it, but I would say for a 3-hour game, around the $2 price isn't a bad amount to play. So, any rate, morally speaking, what do you got? And of course, you've got some magic usage. I always throw that in there. Fairy tale stuff. You're beating on robots, wolves. So, cruelty to animals, cruelty to machines. And of course, Woolfe himself is an uber capitalist, and so he uses money and power to basically intimidate and to control people. So, issues with any of those themes, and obviously you wouldn't want your kids to play it. Hey though, this is Woolfe Red Hood Diaries. Moral Gamer here, signing off. What's your favorite fairy tale, guys? What fairy tale do you think could be made into an odd, not exactly a typical fairy tale that you'd expect to have a video game of? So leave that in the comments below, and we hope to see you next time with another review. Thanks for watching.